welcome to the morning. Okay, all right. Well, that was quite a slurp.
That was a bad idea.
DNA for March 7th, 2022. I'm Aaron Dice, the man of single black shirt. She is Dunda Hughes.
Also wearing a black shirt.
Yes, also wearing her black Bowie shirt. And we're here to find out what today is made of.
What's up, chat? What's up, people? Hope you had a good week. Okay.
Singing the What's Up for the Weekend song.
I sucked in this coffee. So it turns out when you do that, air also happens.
So you're going to be belching through the show this morning?
No, of course not. I would never do that. Belch on a show right in the middle of recording something important.
Yeah. No, nobody would ever accuse you of ever having done that before, ever.
No, never. I would never do such a thing.
Let's see. Beastly Moron checking in this morning. Hey, Danae and Aaron, just wanted to say I took a trip to the past recently with your content. Ooh, this is always nerve-wracking. This is always very nerve-wracking.
Oh my gosh.
Been listening to Shoe the Dow, or however you spell it.
Yeah. DOE. Well, DOE is sort of how we see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoe the Dow. And the Critic, the Geek, and the Girl. Good stuff and fun to hear old opinions from you all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we think about our old content regularly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What an interesting thing to have all like a decade of opinions and
so many wrong opinions.
I mean, we've just changed a lot. I would answer a lot of things differently, mostly because I haven't. I don't feel as strong of a tie. I'm not going to say with my faith anymore, but I don't start inside of God as much anymore,
right?
Because it's so much just a foundational part of who I am. So it's not like I really felt an obligation to begin a lot of things inside of the...
I mean, Shoe the Dough literally started at a Christian radio station. So, there definitely was that kind of foundational aspect to what we were presenting. Whereas now...
But we also wanted it to be an outlet to not have to talk about Christian stuff too.
Right,
like it was meant to be like, we want to have longer, deeper, more meaningful conversations about life in general, where we're at, what we think, just as friends, as content creators. And we can't do that on Christian radio. So let's do our own thing. And then we almost got fired for it. Yay!
Many stories.
Do we still talk to Captain Logan is a question. I haven't talked to Captain Logan in a long time, but I was just thinking about him recently. Captain Logan came from, we were doing a thing called The Critic, the Geek, and the Girl, which was so much fun. I loved that. I created like the little logo, and that kind of spun into more of like Sif Pop, though, I think.
Yeah. In fact, the Critic, the Geek, and the Girl episodes are all in the Sif Pop podcast feed.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I think they are like, I forget how the numbering, I think it's like I numbered them like pre-1, pre-2, and then the Sif Pop numbers start after that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I've talked to Captain Logan within the last couple years. You know what? Again, time has no meaning. So it's probably been 5 years. I have no idea. But it has been a while. And last I talked to him, he missed us. We missed him. And he knows he's welcome to hop on Sif Pop if he ever wants to. So yeah, but it has been a while. It has been a while since we've chatted.
The theme song for that segment. I don't even remember the theme song for that segment anymore. That's how long it's been.
The Critic, he's legit. The Geek, Brains don't quit. The girl, she's a perfect fit. The Critic, the Geek, and the Girl.
Yeah, we just like made that up. Oh my God, memory lane. Oh,
aren't you glad for my memory? Because you don't, and that's
really
weird to say because I don't have a great memory, but you really just kind of day to day, and so stuff just kind of filters into your past. But
it's in there, like it's in my brain, but something has to trigger. There's usually like a trigger spot, and for most people, I think that's just thinking is their trigger.
Right.
But for me, it's like a picture or a sound or a smell or someone triggering a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beastly Moron says archive was how you labeled them. Yes, that is correct. So in the Sif Pop feed, they are labeled as archive right at the beginning of the feed.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Beastly. It's always if there's anything like if there's anything that you ever find, this is not just for Beastly, but for anyone,
yeah, sure,
who's listening. If there's anything you ever find conversation or something that you want to revisit, please feel free to email us.
100%.
Especially, but particularly with the episode number and about where it is, since we will forget. I think that'd be really interesting to kind of go back through and kind of hear our old stuff. One of the things that's changed about me is my vocal range. When I first started like in radio and stuff, my entertainment voice was kind of more up here. Like I was always sort of higher. As the time has gone on, I've just I've got more comfortable. I've kind of come down a little bit in my range. Now it's interesting to think this. My role play voices are in a higher range too. So like I think
that's your performance range a little bit, right? Yeah, there's a little bit of, you just kind of elevate. Yeah, totally. Beastly also says the first theme song was the best. The critic, he knows stuff. The geek, he knows stuff too. And the girl, she has eyelashes.
That was based on the
art.
The drawing. Yeah. I had this. I always like experimenting with drawing things like technology. I had this drawing pad at the time, and it had an interesting setting where at the end of the stroke, it would kind of do like a blob of ink, was the way that the digital pen was set up. And so when I was doing these eyelashes, they looked perfect for that. But it was like this little splurge at the end. So that's why I always said eyelashes. What a fun memory, man. Thank you.
Lolly says, what if it keeps getting deeper? In 10 years' time, will Danae be using a Batman voice?
Hi. Sure. I can't. If I'm just woken up and sick, man, my register's so low.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
No, it is
2013 Danae's super high pitch voice. No, Aaron, I don't want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
What movie it is?
Yeah.
No,
I think in general. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It is fun to look back for sure.
Fun.
And
scary.
Sure, but it's also, that's the thing we've always said, like we are who we are and we change and we're processing. One thing Shoe the Dough has always been, and even our radio show is two people who are very aware of their limitations and very aware that at any moment their opinion could change on something.
Oh yeah.
And that's beautiful. That's the beautiful part of humanity, is exploring what the truth is, what your perspective is, what other people's perspective is, finding empathy, finding these ways of, steps into conversation. Shoe the Dough from the very beginning was about finding conversation to build bridges. And we still really feel strongly about that, especially now. It's so important to continue to build bridges and to hear each other and to have empathy for each other. So, yeah.
There's also this thing, though, where we are designed to also, like when we're watching people or we're listening to content for entertainment, that if there's a consistency, that's what you really are drawn to. Mm-hmm. But as people, we change. So in a TV show or in a movie, you have characters that are built a specific way, and they kind of like, the writers will play into those specifications that don't change, and they amplify those. And so you get comfortable with characters.
Yeah.
But we're people and we're not characters, but we're also entertainers. And so people, our audience, our friends, they get very comfortable with a specific version of us. And it can be scary to change, and it can be scary to evolve, and it can be scary to say, hey, something about me is different now. And you can go back and you can hear how different it is, or you can learn about me. And that might mean you don't want to come to my space anymore. And that's a like rejection, or the fear of people like wanting to give their opinions, especially if they're really detrimental and acidic.
Yeah.
That's scary sometimes. But I think like this is going to make Aaron potentially cry.
Oh,
but doing this with you has been awesome, because, you've helped me understand how to listen to the critical ear, because before it would just destroy me. Like, do you remember in the early days, I couldn't even listen to our audio? Do you remember that? Yeah. I couldn't even so let's say that we just did this and then we stopped and I went to go edit it. I couldn't even listen to it because I would be so self-critical of what I said, like how I could have said it better or different. And just over the years, I've been able to not be as afraid of just sharing, because I really enjoy watching people fearlessly say what they're thinking and mess up and make mistakes. I appreciate that about other people. So I kind of pushed myself to be one of those people. And Aaron has been someone I can sink into and anchor into and like guide through the craziness of doing a show and sharing like our opinions and our thoughts that could be controversial without us meaning to be controversial. Or if we press into a controversial topic, it's easier to know how to like, I don't know, be in those waters when you're watching some stud just like tread. You're like, yeah, I've been here before. We're going to go this way. I'm like, oh my God.
reminds me of Crush in Finding Nemo when they're riding Crush in the current, and Crush is just like all confident and they're just like hanging on for dear life and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it helps to have that. And, you know, and honestly, for me, it's a matter of finding a safe space with safe people to be able to do that. And when you do something publicly, there is always that element of context that can be stolen from you. And, you know, in many ways, I'm thankful that our audience has always remained kind of medium sized, you know, because it's one of those things where it's like, if we were, you know, amazing enough that, you know, tens of thousands of people, you know, were watching live every morning.
No.
Our context would be stolen from us. It would be different. And all of a sudden, I would
have
feel
like a private
little
chat.
Right.
Okay, everybody go over here.
So there is that kind of beautiful
eyelashes.
Come
meet us in the secret chat.
Beautiful simplicity to what we found with this community. And thank you for being part of this community that finds that safe space with us to really be honest about sometimes things that maybe we even disagree on. And that's fine. We have to find ways to not even necessarily disagree, but find truth together when we see truth differently, you know, and be able to find common spaces and
get to a point where you're like, we don't know.
Well, that's where we start from. That's where you start from is like,
dude, listen,
we don't have
here's
the
what I'm
answers.
saying, Aaron, is I can't have a truth-finding conversation with you unless we have like 14 days carved out. Can't go to work. Nothing do.
Well, you're going to love my topic today then.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Shall we chew a dough today?
Yeah, I do want to say I was looking for, I think it's Jets Mets. Was it Jets or was it Jagged? Somebody said something in the chat earlier. Hold on. I just want to. I was Jagged. Jagged says, and I'm on my other chat when I found it. This will be my last live show for a while because I have to go back to the office next week. Good luck to you going back into the office. A lot of people are having to shift their style of working right now, and that's okay. You will be missed.
Yes,
but,
definitely.
If we have to change everything about our show to do a live show for you someday, you just let us know.
The Jagged Show.
Oh, God. And
that'll be our someday show. Our next someday show we'll just call the Jagged Show.
The Jagged Show. And then the sheer hubris that it sounds like I'm saying with Jets quoting me, Danae saying, it takes 14 days to find the truth. Yeah, that out of context, it might seem like I think that I know I can find the truth in a couple weeks. That's probably.
Yes. Just give me a couple weeks, solve any problem. World hunger, no big deal.
Oh gosh. Anyway, you'll be missed. All right, I'm ready. Sorry, I just wanted to give a shout out.
No,
to
that's
Jagged.
good. No, I'm glad you did that. So we're gonna do the DNA and U. There will be a D topic, that's a Danae topic, and A topic. That's Aaron topic. I can be Danae today if you want. That's fine. And as many U topics as we can get to, we do have the capabilities to star your comments now. So you can put U questions in there whenever you like.
Yeah,
if you have a question for us, you don't have to wait anymore. Just put a U at the beginning so we see them.
It's not it's not actually time. I'm just putting it up there for people to read. Okay,
Yeah.
that was confusing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you can put just letter U at the beginning. We'll star that, and we'll come back to it when it's time for the U questions. But we start with Danae. What do you got?
Hi.
Hi.
My question today is a simple one. I was thinking about this as I woke up today. It's not the question usually is what superpower do you want to have? And it's like a general question. I just want to know what it is for just one day. Just today.
Okay.
Mine would be time manipulation today. Which probably means I would have some fallout issues tomorrow. If I would ever let it become tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
I would eventually let it become tomorrow after I got my stuff done.
You stole the cheat answer, Which is time manipulation.
How is that a cheating answer, though?
Because you say just for today, but if it's time manipulation, that could be forever.
Yeah,
because
but I
you
don't
never
want
let
to
it be
groundhog
tomorrow.
it. I don't want to groundhog it. You know, like I don't know that it would work that way logistically, and I'm not really wanting to have a time conversation. We can if we want to.
But if you can manipulate time, so what do you mean by time manipulation then, if that's yours?
I mean, I got stuff to do, and I don't think I'm going to get it all done today. So I just need to have a little bit more time.
Stop the clock. So you're saying for your time, and if you want the power today to be able to stop time.
The clock. Stop time.
Okay. Because there are different forms of time manipulation.
And then start it up again, and it's like, oh yeah, look at Danae.
So
super on it. Wrote 7 scripts in a day, and they're all just so good. Holy crap.
Okay, let's be honest, Danae. Let's be honest.
Okay, and I would also definitely play some video games. But listen, if time is frozen, video games aren't as fun because everyone's it's just me able to somehow. Okay, so somehow my computer is also part of this time bubble because I have to be able to watch my content.
And oxygen.
Yes, oxygen.
Food probably. Probably food needs to be in your time bubble somehow.
Unless I can freeze my need to have that for just a little while. That'd be kind of cool.
You'd have to, if you're alive, I think you'd have to still be processing energy somehow.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to talk to Q from Star Trek and figure out how to be very specific with my time manipulation techniques.
Nice.
But yeah, for just one day. It's just one day, guys.
JCD says telekinesis. I want to sit down and still have stuff happening for work. Lazy yet working. I don't know how I feel about telekinesis. Is my problem with getting work done is not moving. My problem is thinking. My problem is getting into the mindset. You
don't have JCD's job. Maybe JCD's have to move a whole bunch of stuff today. Like, what if?
I suppose if you're a moving van company or something. Yeah, if you're
he's
a mover.
He's a mover and a shaker.
That makes sense. You just sit down and just
Yeah, you can kind of multitask. You're moving your computer from one place to another, but then also in your mind, you have just parked all of the cars in Manhattan.
Yep, there you go.
Great, it's wonderful.
Jagged says for just one day, flying. For everyday teleportation.
That's smart. I like the idea of flying. As long as I have a face shield. I've thought about this a lot. Birds,
flying comes with consequences.
There are a lot of things that you think are going to be super fun about flying, but then you get in the air and you're just zooming through, and suddenly small things really hurt, and we have just delicate skin. We're not designed for flying through the air like that. So first, get your suit in order, then fly.
I genuinely think when you think about it, flying is a terrible superpower. I don't know why it's at the top of so many people's lists.
It'd be amazing. Come on. That'd be amazing.
What's amazing about it?
Oh, just to be weightless, flying through the air.
You can do that without having a superpower of flight.
Yeah,
you can literally skydive.
No.
You can.
No.
I'm just saying, if you're scared of skydiving, how are you not scared of flying? I don't understand. This is what I'm saying. Everything you can experience from flying, you can already experience. Flying is one I don't get. I genuinely don't get it.
No, there is something about it that I'm so drawn to be able to just lift off of the ground whenever I want and just shift through the air from point A to point B. That seems incredible to me.
Well, because you would have a superpower. Having a superpower is incredible, but transportation-wise, it doesn't really help you that much. It's just look at this cool thing I can do.
Sure it does. Imagine being able to... Okay, no. You're in okay, go with me here. You're in traffic.
Okay.
And you're hovering above the car. You know you can show off and go really high if you want to. But you're just going above the traffic. Everyone's just wow! They're crashing below you. Okay,
right.
This is a bad idea.
So it's impressing people. It's just impressing people. Yes, I get it.
I think
showing off.
When I really actually answer this question truthfully and not just for fun, I've had so many dreams of flying, and I've dreamt of flying since I was a little girl. I just I want to experience the fullness of my dreams. Anyway.
I get that part of it. I get the cool, oh, look at this cool thing I can do because it's a superpower. But all superpowers kind of have that, right?
I like how Jacket's I didn't say flying naked, you guys. Come on.
Now I'm interested.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. I also like how whenever we start to pop off, Jets is in chat going, here we go. Here we go, guys.
But I do want to just Jagged's second part. He says for everyday teleportation. Teleportation is a great choice.
Yeah.
Teleportation is one of those things that, man, if like, I don't know that I would ever trust it, but if somebody invented that technology, like, that would just absolutely revolutionize things. I would just always be afraid that the me that goes in would be dead, and there'd be a different me that would come out the other side. Like, if somebody figured out how to, like, take all my neutrons apart and put them all back together. Teleportation is awesome. No, it's just teleportation is great.
Sonic says everyone would be throwing stuff at you. Like, probably. Yep, that's what I was going for.
I'm going to go with Medina. Says, I would love to have the Flash's power for a day. So just super speed. You know, in essence, Danae, super speed is kind of a stop time kind of power, right? Like that.
Yeah, but you have to keep running to stop time. So I'd have to be on the Flash treadmill going backwards with the ability to also sit down and work. So I don't think that would be. Does the Flash's brain must fire faster too, right? Because I'm just thinking, like, for what we do, like writing, right? Yeah.
Would we be able to write scripts faster? We'd be able to move, like, type faster.
But
does the brain also?
I haven't watched The Flash enough to know how to answer that question. Yeah.
Jetsmet says reading minds. Boy, that's a dangerous one. That is, I don't think you want that. I really don't think you want that.
But it's just for a day. So for one day,
I think it would ruin you forever. I genuinely think we all hide stuff in our heads that, you know, everybody would be terrified by.
I wonder if
maybe
it would
I'm
be
wrong.
So, like in Dungeons and Dragons, there's different levels of reading the mind. Like, people have the ability to push you out of their mind. So there's like saving throws where if Jets wanted to read my mind, he could read my surface thoughts. So, like, right now it's like, oh, my puppies are cute, and I wonder, like, who's in the chat? Oh, Derek's in the chat. Like, there's like these little things that pop into my head. But then if you want to press in even further, then I would have a chance to resist that. I wonder if that's how humans would actually be, or if you could just, like, get into someone's brain and just peek around, which would be so. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that realistically.
Do you remember one morning on the radio show where you were like, let's try an experiment. I'm going to say every thought that comes into my head for the next 30 seconds, and it lasted about 5 seconds, and then you were done. Do you remember this?
Yes. Yeah. It was not.
Like, nope, done with this.
This
not
is a bad
happening.
idea. This is a bad idea for so many reasons, because I'm thinking things I don't want anybody to know about.
Yep.
Like that and that.
And also that. Yeah, exactly. Lolly's got a good one. The power to change water temperature with my mind. Showers and baths would always be perfect. Tea would be virtually instant. Too warm, mist of cool water and instant comfort.
What a great one day only superpower. You're not wrong. There have to be shower components where it regulates the temperature for you.
I've thought a lot about this. You have no idea how much I've thought about this. I don't understand why we don't have thermostats for the shower, right? And the answer is because the energy consumption would be so high, because you'd have to have a specified
like a little
boilers
heater.
That would have different temperatures ready to go.
I'm here for that. I'm okay, but to have the power to do it just with the thought of your mind that all the water is the right temperature. You could make the temperature of your own body like water. You could shift your body temperature too. Not that I would recommend that.
I mean, you're 70% water, something like that. So you
it's very
impact your body temperature.
Avatar.
You could be cold-blooded for the day.
You would die, but yes. Chris Batkinson, Wolverine's healing factor. Just get rid of all the tiny aches and pains that I've accumulated over the years all at once, and then go on with life as normal. Yeah, self-healing. That's a superpower that would be pretty incredible, because if it lasted for a day and you did it right, then the next day you would be able to be pain-free, right?
Right.
I mean, theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer. Pain-free. Let's
pain-free day.
Go. Not just
Pain-free
one day, because if your Wolverine powers for a day and it impacted your body, I mean, I guess your body would then begin to deteriorate immediately the next day.
Yeah. No Clue brings us back to flying. The View, Aaron. The View. You can get that view from many different ways.
God.
Many different ways you can get that view
Oh
without
my
actually
God.
having the power of flight.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, there's another healing factor from Slab. Slab says healing factor. Just got back from 3 days at Disney. Oh boy. With 7 12-year-old. Wait, 7 12-year-olds? Am I reading that correctly? Or is 7 and a 12-year-old?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm gonna go with a
so
7
bad.
and a
I
12-year-old.
think we should. But 7 12-year-olds.
7
also...
12-year-olds, I'm not sure how you're alive. So
Oh no! Average 20,000 steps a day, and also a little bit of emotional healing as well. I think that's I think that's going to be the winner for sure. No, it's 7 12-year-olds. Slab corrects. It is 7 12-year-olds.
Wow. Sorry, Slab. I'm so
Wow,
so
Slab,
sorry.
you did it. Congratulations, you did it, buddy.
Lolly asks, how would visas and passports work in a teleworking world? I imagine
Like a
teleporting.
teleporting?
Yeah. It would
have to be
done.
scanning your DNA or something.
Yeah, it would.
Like the machine itself would have to like register your DNA.
Yeah, there would probably be
God.
a similar process to. I mean, if you're talking about self teleportation, that gets a little trickier. But if you're talking about teleporting centers in cities like airports, then you'd have check-ins and those kind of things. But home teleportation, if that became a technology, yeah, there'd have to be some interesting ways to figure out where people are going, or you know, maybe people have privacy again. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
I'm going to go down because I saw one from Derek that I have to point out. Derek's superpower for the day is to animate food and cause chaos during all meals of the day.
Animate food?
I mean, to have the ability to have a superpower for a day and to choose
And you
chaos.
choose just specifically food. Just food. Just want to animate food.
I mean, that's a good...
It'll just give me like 3 chances during the day to use my superpower.
My God. No, you could No, imagine all the places that you could go where there is food. Like just walk into the supermarket and suddenly it's like
The food court at the mall.
Yeah, exactly. It turns into a musical.
It's such a trolly superpower too, because you're just like, that person's chicken nugget is about to sing to them. And
please don't eat me. And if it's in Derek's mind, if he's the one orchestrating, like if he's animating and orchestrating, I would want to be a part of this day. Let's just say, because Derek's mind is a palace
Derek, this is
of chaos and enjoyment.
This is very much you. And to think of a superpower so that you could entertain yourself and others is very amazing.
Right? Like we're so here for it. Slav says, I make everyone's coffee scream because it's cooking in its own fluid. Lolly says, why does this sound so evil? But I'm here for it. I know. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing some clarity to this chat.
Yes. We now have an answer.
Aaron, are you ready to go to your topic for the day?
I have. I don't know if I gave my answer to your question because we had so many good ones.
We did.
But teleportation was definitely up there for me. But I think, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but I think the ability to change my size, like stretch, like Mr. Fantastic kind of superpower, where because I think there are just so many times where you want to be able to be reach farther than you can reach, or.
So like for a day, you could change all the dimensions of your person and be like, I'm going to go underneath the slot of the door, like cat
like
style,
an
where you just like
/ Mr. Fantastic, just.
Okay. Would you maintain your portions, or would you be able to like just turn into like a flat pancake and then just like
could do that
Elastigirl style?
Yep. Yeah. Elastigirl, Ant-Man combined with Ant-Man. Yeah. So I could impact my the size and shape of my molecules. Yes.
The chat is all about, it's funny that the tall guy wants the ability to be taller.
It's funny that you all think I want to be taller and not shorter. Like, this is hilarious that you think that taller is what I want to be.
The whole chat is like, tall person.
How are you surprised? Why are you surprised the tall guy wants to be shorter and smaller? Why is this a surprise?
You guys
think of it from my perspective.
What would it be like for Aaron to have a hug where he is fully
Thank you, Danae.
embraced?
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm 5'5", and I get to experience this a lot especially with like Aaron's size person or Justin's size person or my dad, like these big people who just put their arms around me, and I'm just like, Danae is gone now. Like he's never had a chance to feel that. Like that would be really cool for him.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Come on.
I could go down slides again.
You could ride in the roller coasters where your legs are just too long to fit in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You could watch Hamilton without being in
without
pain.
knee pain. Thank you. See, Danae gets it. Just for one day.
What I would love is if you would retain your height on your torso and upper body, but just shrink your legs to fit into the aisles.
Like, I don't know. You've probably never seen Deadpool, but there's like he gets his legs cut off or something. He has little baby legs. Baby legs. Deadpool.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, we can go on to the A topic. Okay,
what do you got for us today?
Yeah, another really fun, goofy topic. How do you cope with things that are out of your control?
Oh my God, we are.
I know.
With the dogs.
Welcome to the morning DNA.
I just made the tire screech sound and they popped up like, what's going on?
I think this is a big one that's on my mind a lot right now, and I genuinely want to hear people's coping strategies. It's something that happens to us as human beings all the time. There are things that impact us or make us feel certain ways that we can't control. It's just not in our control. It's the whole, what is it? Serenity, prayer. Help me to change the things I can and know the difference. Like that kind of thing. Like, what do you do? How do you cope when there are things you can't control? One of them, world events. Like I'm just looking at the destruction, and there's like I don't know what I can do other than throw money at people who can get over there and help, or whatever the case may be. And it just seems so. And so I don't know. It just got me thinking today. Like, how do you cope with things that you can't control? What are your coping mechanisms as you kind of deal with those kind of things? So yeah. This
can turn into a really serious topic depending on how people answer this question.
And that's fine. I'm cool with that. That's, this show does that. So
you guys can be as honest as you want to be to answer this one. I'll jump on to my first thoughts, which is I have the privilege of having a really good group of people that I can talk to. Like one of my instant ways of coping after actually my first one is to get really quiet and still, and I go really quiet and deep into myself, and I'm like, I do self-evaluation and kind of pull away from people and circumstances just to like get perspective. But when I re-engage for conversation or to connect with people, I go to like really solid people that I can be honest with and say scary things to, and I'm not judged for it. And I think that's like a really it's a really important factor. And I know not everybody has that. And that is something that I try to give to people too, especially like over the years, various friendships I've had. And one of the common threads that when I get feedback from people is just an appreciation that they can say whatever they need to say. And they can just say it. It doesn't phase my view of them. So far, I haven't had anyone say something so insane that I'm like, oh, okay,
I need to alert the authorities.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, trying to be a listening ear where you literally are not judging them. It takes practice sometimes a long time of also not judging yourself for things. I don't know. It's really interesting. That's a really interesting question. But I think I cope by getting quiet and still, and then I go to safe people if I have to talk things out. But usually I'm a self-regulation person myself.
Slap says, I don't cope. I scream into the void in my head until the problem fixes itself. I believe this coping mechanism is called denial. Yeah. I believe this is
mine. When I say I go into my head, I just go in and I cut all the wires around whatever happened, and I launch that little cube of thought out into space.
No, I've seen you do it. I've seen that skill. I'm kind of jealous of it at some point
because
I can't
sometimes.
do it. I can't quit thinking about stuff. and not, I don't fixate, but I'm always processing. Denial is interesting because I think, connotationally, denial is negative. Many people think of denial as something it's like, don't live in denial, those kind of things. And there's truth there. You shouldn't live in denial.
No.
But the skill of denial
It's beautiful.
It is a genuine skill that can be a healthy coping mechanism in small, understandable doses. What I mean by that, it's not this doesn't exist, it's this doesn't exist for now. For now, I am not processing this. This is not something, since I can't control it, since I can't, well, forever denial in certain situations
Listen,
is
I'm
a
just
bad
going to
idea,
say it. Denial is absolutely my coping mechanism. I'm going to claim it. I love it. I love being able to just cut things out and push them away. If something comes back over and over and over again, yeah, I think it's time to look at it. But let's talk about people that you want to cut out of your brain, or thought processes that you're trying to cut out of your brain, or like really negative things that are impacting you. Like those things, I think you can lob out and just, there's not a lot there. It's kind of like, I'm going to talk about people specifically, or like, people. I'll talk about people specifically. So there's certain types of people that when they get close to you, you think you have to become their friend. You've got to like bring them into your fold. This is specifically work people that are just not healthy for you. You wouldn't really hang out with them, but you have to because of work or whatever. There's these processes that just get in your brain, and like you end up going in this hamster wheel circle. And after a while, there's nothing there for you. It's just the same thoughts over and over and over again, whether it's a person that's brought into your life or whatever. And I'm not talking about cutting out people from your life. I'm talking about cutting out the care of what they mean to you, or like what they're going to be. If they're going to be a really good friend or a deep person for you, then they're going to stick around. I don't know. This is true. I'm thinking a lot about the expectations that society has on you to be a specific type of person in a certain situation, and how I just have to clip that stuff and go, I can't listen to what everybody wants me to do here. I just have to do me. And so I clip out those little voices or those cyclical things, because it loops. It's just a one endless, I've been down this road before. I don't have to watch this friendship go all through all of the things just to come to the arrival that we're not really good fit for each other. Let's just see each other and thumbs up and have a good life. And I don't have to do anything else with you. I'm thinking of very specific things, obviously. But anyway, that's how I kind of just like snip. The other things I shouldn't. There's other things that you want to engage and you want to make sure you're not denying. Like, I'm going to throw out a big one, like learning about racism. I have the option to lob that out of my life because I don't have to deal with it every day because I'm a privileged white girl in the Midwest. However, that is not something that you want to just keep clipping out because it's painful and sucks. That's something you want to sit with and try to adjust. Those are the things you can spend your time on. Those are things outside of your control too.
But finding that difference is tough sometimes. Understanding, what you can and can't control and what you should and shouldn't clip out, as you say.
And that's my way of dealing with it. Let's talk about everybody else, though.
All right. So Medina says, easy. And then apparently loves pine trees, maybe. Maybe it's a Christmas.
Pot smoking. Give me that weed. Yeah. Substance abuse is a big one. This is actually one that I was expecting to come up. I'm not saying that you're abusing.
I was going to say, let's be clear. We're not accusing
I meant
anybody
to say
of
substance
abuse.
use, and substance abuse came out of my mouth. However, it can shift into substance abuse as well. This is another one that I used to do all the time.
Well, self-medication is a really interesting thing. Yeah, because there are levels to it, and it can be
ones I can appreciate.
Like many coping mechanisms, even denial or whatever we're talking about, in degree, it can be good or bad. So, yeah. Let's see. Jagged says, I cope with distractions, incredibly dark humor, and unfortunately I become more controlling over things I have control over, which is always not great. Oh, this is a good one. Nick, I think you're touching on some really, really good things. Keeping yourself distracted is certainly, I think, can be a really good way to cope if you have places you can invest your energy in that are more, who you are and what you can do. Humor, dark humor, totally get that. Gallows type humor. I got to be careful with that one because you can really hurt people with that if you end up joking about something that they're feeling very deeply. And then becoming more controlling over things I have control over. That's a big one.
Well, yeah. That's so like when I used to get stressed out, just in stress in general, I would pick up smoking cigarettes again because I could control. It was like something I can control. Now it was also a way of like harming myself in a way. It's like, this is the only thing I can control and I'm going to feel it. And I would start smoking again. And I had to like go through my own cycles there. Like there's different levels of controlling things. And then some people, it's like, you know what? I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to get like really deeply organized because I can do this. This is one thing I get to do. There's so many ways that we express being able to have power in our life when we feel powerless, whether it's relationships or jobs or huge things happening in our world like war. So all these things that can kind of trigger us, we shift around and immediately try to reach out into our roots and find our footing and find our balance and dig into a foundation of some kind. And I think if we have foundational people around us that can kind of help us hit that bedrock faster, that's the goal, which is why I think mental health and counsel and things like that are so important so that our minds, which can take us out on these spinny things and we can end up doing things that are actually detrimental in some ways. Like having perspective while we're reaching out for control is huge, but that's a really good response.
Man, you guys are killing it with this. Tyler says, do whatever it takes to survive and be willing to feel what you need to feel. Say what you need to say and be around the people who give you grace. Also take a nap. You probably need sleep or games.
Or both. Sleeping, gaming, yes. There's something
exercising
really big
really
too.
Helps me, by the way. You talk about sleeping, just like healthy things like sleeping, exercising, drinking water, like just stuff that your body needs. It really does help. Like I feel so much better when I'm, consistently on the treadmill in the mornings or, whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a big one.
But getting out of your head a little bit is helpful. For me, when I smoked pot, that was a big thing. As it just shifted me outside just enough that I was like, breather, and then we're back in. Denial is a shift out for me. Games are a shift out for me. Working out can be a shift out. And what I mean is just, if we fixate on things we can't control too much, I feel like it's just a stress cycle.
Yeah.
But I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking for myself.
Well, of course. That's what we do here. Lolly says, ugh, this is way too real. My husband has family stuff going on back home, which we can't travel back and spend a month there to support them. Having to be there from far away is a lot. It's absolutely the serenity prayer thing. I support in the ways I can by being there for my husband and offering to speak and listen, but try to let go of the things I can't do in places I can't be in person. I feel that. I feel that, Lolly. And that is the trick, that balance, trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Also, if you're the type of person who would bend over backwards for people and and you realize you can't, that changed a lot for me when I had Iris, because suddenly this person that I have been my whole life that would just jump in a car and race off to someone if they needed me or something. Like I can't do that. Or COVID, you can't travel, or a job, or, these things that as adults, just, we literally cannot, well, we could, but the consequences are just, it's too much. And so someone else's situation has to be their situation, and you can only feel it from a distance. I have a friend right now who is literally stuck in Oregon. She's been there for, I think, 2 or 3 months. She went to visit her children, got COVID, and it affected her body really negatively. And so she can't travel back home because she can't get her oxygen levels up enough to travel. She can't travel by train. It's too much for her body. And she can't get in a plane because the pressurization and the altitude and all that stuff, it makes her go, it's too much on her heart. So she can't come back for her job, and she can't come back to her house. And I can't do anything about that. But I told her that I'd pay one of her bills for her. Like, hey, if you need someone to pay, your phone bill for a month, like, tell me what you need and I can do that. That's one thing I can do. And if you want to talk on the phone and chat about something, I can do that. But it is so hard to watch people go through something and know that that's like their circumstances, even though you're part of their support group. And I'm sorry that you're having to feel all that, Lolly.
Absolutely. JCD says, it depends on the situation for me. Like world events, I can accept I don't have control easier, but sometimes like when it regards people I care for, I tend to reach out to people who I know I can talk to and work my own thoughts out.
Very healthy.
There's a proximity thing. There's absolutely a proximity with some of these things, and that will handle the, definitely the way you kind of cope with those things. Slab Getting Real says, I felt so out of control the other day, was in tears, felt like a complete failure. I have been there. Got some sleep, and while the problems were still there, giving my brain time to shut down and reset gave me a new perspective on the previous day's events. It's so frustrating sometimes how human we are, and like how just chemically we're controlled by these chemicals in our bodies in different ways that we're our hormones are working or whatever the case may be. It's so frustrating to know, okay, when I sleep, it somehow changes things. It didn't change things. You just got rest, but it was able to reset your brain, like you said, and give you a new perspective. I just think that's really important.
It is important. And I think part of our life is experimenting with what those safe brain breaks are.
Sure.
It's amazing how our bodies automatically try to do that too. I remember when I was going through a lot, how tired I was and I just wanted to sleep. And that was part of my body dealing with the stress. And it's like we have these systems in place that when we feel the anxieties and stresses and such, that will literally be like, go to sleep, like shut down, check out. And then, when you wake up and you have to face whatever your circumstances are, whether it's something from your own doing or something from an outside situation that's impacted you, whatever it looks like. At the end of the day, the only thing that you're in control of is yourself and how you respond. And it's amazing when like crisis happens, how we just go back to the basics. Do I have food? Do I have shelter? Do I have the things that I need? Who are the people in my life that I can depend on? And everything else can just get quiet. There's so many things that can distract us. But when you're trying to figure out what you can control and it's just you and how you react to people or how you respond to your circumstances or what you decide to say or what you decide to keep to yourself, it actually simplifies things. It can make you feel really small and like you don't have as much as you want, like because you want to have more control. But it's such a simplifier. It's just like this great equalizer. And if you've not done the work to kind of really go into that space and actually face what you can control, which is just yourself, it's a really deep work to do. And the more that you're able to kind of confront that, it almost begins to help you not wanting to jump into other people's skin and do things for them because you just sort of stay in your lane with more and more ease as time goes on. And the beauty of that means that you have this like power because you're self-sustained in that way. But that means that you're there for people in a totally new way because you have the energy and the clarity to kind of not necessarily jump into other people's lives, but when they open that door and you step into someone else's life, you're still in your lane. You're still only controlling yourself. And that relationship is based on a mutual impact. It's a mutual partnership. It's not someone that's wanting you to make decisions for them all the time. There's like that mutual thing to it. It's really, really deep work. This is a really great question. And it's one that can lead to a lot of really important revelations. And so to wherever you guys are at in your life, first and foremost, I hope you have counsel because this is deep. This is really, really deep work.
Yeah. Lolly coming in for Slab saying, you had a hell of a day, but you gave so much care. Please rest. Self-care is not just fluffy socks and bubble baths and buying stuff as much as Amazon will tell you so. It's about acknowledging and understanding that you can't run on an empty tank.
That's it.
Self-care, healing, rebuilding looks different for everyone. That is
well
great
said,
stuff,
Lolly.
That's well said. Great place to kind of wrap this up.
Well
and thank you guys.
said.
I love having these chats with you guys.
I love our community.
You're all very awake an alert on these deeper things, and I really, really do appreciate that. So let's head into some you questions to finish off with. If there is anything you want to ask us, you are free to ask us. We may not answer, but so far we pretty much answer whatever you throw our way. So just throw a you at the beginning. And I think the only time we've ever ignored questions was when it was an obvious troll, somebody who was obviously on the. I think that's the only one I can remember.
I think, was there one about like asking if we were a couple or something? Was that what it was? There was one that was like that.
No, there was one that was definitely like hitting on you and asking you very personal questions.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that was like.
I don't remember that at all.
So, but other than that, yeah.
Also, the ones that are bots that are like, have you clicked on this link? Do you want to be famous?
It's not really a you question. Not really a you question. Medina says, have any of you seen The Batman?
Aaron was able to go to see The Batman along with a friend. And yeah, it was really interesting because part of me wanted to go because I love Batman. Mm-hmm. But I have seen my favorite Batman and I don't want to go back yet. And it's not one that, I mean, in the moment, it was one of my favorite movies experiences ever because I love Batman so much. And it was, I think
Christian
it was,
Bale?
Yeah.
The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. I loved that movie experience so much. Mm-hmm. I watched it again. It's still, I mean, movies experiences change so much, but I don't really want to go back. I love that take on like what would it look like for Batman to be real, and it was so gritty and different, and I really, really enjoyed it. But he said it was 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm. It is 3 hours long.
And I was concerned. So
so yes, some people already know my feelings and are warning people not to listen to me as I give you my feelings on the Batman.
I see you, Jets. I see you.
The Batman is, here's the simplest way for me to say it. The Batman is the movie that I love the most that I don't even like. So that is a quick way of saying there's so much amazing about this movie. It is really fun to watch for about 2.5 hours. And then that last half hour is very, very annoying to me because I think it completely undoes some of the things that happen in the first 2.5 hours. I think I know what it's trying to do. It just does not accomplish it for me. So this is not something we're going to do in the next 4 minutes. This is not something Danae wants to sit through. So if you want my more specific thoughts on Batman, Sift Pop Podcast is the place to go and check that out. SIFTPOP. So, but yes, I loved that movie and also didn't like it. So
okay, so that clears that up for you guys. Here's one from Jets. If you could live in a video game, what game would it be? Ooh. This is a difficult one because there's so many beautiful games, but I think I would go oh my gosh, I just totally spaced it.
It's a tough question because like immediately I'm like, "Oh, I love these games, but I don't want to live there." Like like I'm thinking of like Super Mario Galaxy or something. I'm like, that is so fun to play. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous, but I don't want to live there.
I know. Maybe it's like for a day or something.
Right. Yeah.
So this is going to feel dumb, but I have to assume that we would have like abilities like the video game characters as well.
Okay.
Because video games mean that you're going to be facing adversity because you have to have like, there's a bad guy that you're going to be going against, right?
I mean, there's some video games that are different, but yes. Yeah. For the most part.
But for the most part. So I would probably go Kingdom Hearts or something like that, just because it would be sort of fun and silly and not serious. Obviously my first thought was Red Dead Redemption 2, but because I role play inside that world every week, and it's beautiful, and I would love to just like be inside that world. But there are some really scary people in that world, like outlaws and such. So, but then also in Kingdom Hearts, there's some really scary bad guys in that world too, because they're like taking over the hearts and such. So yeah, I'd have to think about this one because if I'm gonna live in it forever, I would want to. I want to be very strategic about what game I would choose.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's part of me that wants to go fantasy because there's magic and cool stuff. So I'm thinking like World of Warcraft or stuff like that. But I don't want to live there.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, like World of Warcraft. How fun would that be to be like?
Until you got eaten by an ogre or something.
Yeah. I have to believe that you'd also be like jumping into the game, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because of that, I think I would have to do like a movie tie-in type of game where like I'm living inside one of my favorite movies. So like, is there a Toy Story game or something where I go live in the Toy Story world?
Well, wouldn't that be kind of like a Disney kind of? Oh, there probably is. Yeah, there probably is Toy Story.
Like Kingdom Hearts? Like is Kingdom Hearts a good answer to this question?
Well, I mean, it's Disney, so it's going to be a little bit like lighter.
Is Beat Saber a good answer to this question?
Beat Star?
No, Beat Saber. Where you have the lightsaber. You don't know Beat Saber? So Beat Saber, you have a lightsaber and you have to hit the beats of the songs as they
my God.
come down. So
did you see that, speaking of Beat Star, did you see this one, Aaron, from Nick, who says, Aaron, thanks for beating my Beat Star score for Chemical Brothers Go. It was the challenge that I needed in order to beat my old score and get gold and beat your score. So my God. The love of this game continues.
Beat Star is so much fun.
It's amazing.
I will tell you this, Nick, since you brought up Chemical Brothers Go, it's the song in the game I hate the most because it has a quick tap, tap, tap on the left side, and my left thumb won't move that fast. Like literally, I cannot do that part of the game.
Like,
I have to skip that part of the game.
Your thumb or something
with coins or gems. Like I literally cannot do. Like it is the only song in the game I literally cannot complete because of physical limitations. So yeah. So thank you for rubbing that in, and I really appreciate.
Next few question that we have is from Disney. How difficult do you find it to keep a secret? I've sometimes wanted to spill the tea and had to fight the urge off. Secrets suck. Secrets are important, I think, sometimes, but they're also difficult. It depends on what kind of a secret it is. If it's like someone tells something to you and it's their secret and they're just like, hey, can you keep a secret? Those are really easy because I just forget about them. I just do the little cut out thing, and then it's just like that doesn't exist, and blah, it's gone. Also, it's none of my business, and I don't need to keep that secret anyway, and then more just like a dumping ground. My own secrets, it totally depends. It depends on how much of an impact. If it's got like a big impact on a lot of people, it's really, really hard because you're depending on what the secret is, you could be like living a lie. And that is so dangerous because for me, I like to just be me and all cards on the table as much as I possibly can. But yeah, I definitely have secrets. I keep secrets for different reasons. And there's like different stages of them. Like there's Christmas level secrets. And then there's like, I can't share this yet because I'm not ready secrets. So.
And there's, I can't share this yet because somebody I know isn't ready. Like
exactly.
there's all sorts of reasons you keep information to yourself. I can't share this because I don't want to hurt you. That's an interesting one because I do wonder sometimes if we keep secrets from each other and don't give other people the opportunity to grow or the opportunity to, deal with the reality of the situation. But sometimes I wonder if that's okay. Like if it's okay, I think we need more permission in our connotational culture to keep secrets. I think in general, we need to give each other more permission to keep information to ourselves and not have to share it. But I think we do have this, idea that the only good life is a completely transparent life. And I'm not sure that that's real. I wish it was. I wish we could live that way, but I'm not sure that we can.
I like Rick's response to this, Rick Mongo Live, which, guys, Rick is an amazing RPer. I'm Italian. In fact, he plays one of the Decenzos that I used to play with as babes. Everyone knows the best way to live is to keep all secrets bottled up inside and never tell anyone, then just randomly explode here and there for no reason.
Right.
Super.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Jet's saying, AKA Danae has no poker face. You're not wrong. I can't play poker. I can only play poker if I'm like, so are two aces good? And then everyone thinks I'm kidding, but I actually have two aces. That's
Right.
the only way for me to play poker is so honest. People don't know how to interpret my level of honesty.
Yeah. Let's see. Derek says.
Derek, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I clicked on it too.
No, that's fine. Derek says, raise his hand. Can I ask a terrible question? The answer to that question is you just did. Because yes, of course you can ask a terrible question. That's fine. Ask any question you want. Doesn't mean we'll answer it, but ask any question you want.
All right. Yeah, this one is definitely one of our do we say Derek's question out loud, because it definitely is one that for the listeners
I think
of
I can
our
figure out.
podcast, we're going to take Derek's question and Aaron's going to put it through his filter. Maybe we can answer it.
Listen, it's just a biological question.
It's a biological question.
It deals with genitalia, and it deals with a would you rather of genitalia.
Which we play would you rather, so this is perfect.
Yes. So the question is, and I'm going to generalize it a little bit for the audience.
Yeah, for our viewing audience, you can read it.
You can read it if you like. Would you rather have male genitalia under your armpits? And he mentions a specific part of the male genitalia that is trauma sensitive. Yes, trauma sensitive.
Yeah.
Or around, would you have female genitalia around your neck, like as a neck ring, as it put? I don't understand necessarily this would you rather question. This is obviously the neck thing. Like, why would you ever want trauma under your, like, you have to put your arms down all the time. Like,
yeah. It's more like if you had the bulbular male parts underneath your armpits all the time, you would be squeezing them.
Yes.
And that is pain.
Yeah.
Assuming that these actually feel, because that's not part of the, assuming that this is actually a functional part, it's connected to nerve tissue. It's not just for looks. Now, if it's just for looks, I'd go under the armpit because then nobody would really see them. But if you're wearing...
You can wear scarves.
That's a lot of scarf. That's a lot of commitment to turtlenecks and scarves.
All right, Derek.
There's your answer.
There's your answer. And Slab says, yep, can confirm. That is a terrible question.
As JCD says, there have been many questions on the morning DNA, and that is most definitely one of them.
One of them. I do like this from Lolly, who does also say... Hey, Danae, do you want to pick which one of us clicks the comments? Lolly says, you can say testicle. Let's normalize proper medical names for body parts. That is true. And generally, I do that. We were just having fun with, playing the filter game and that kind of stuff. But yes,
Derek notes everything
taking scientific data down on whiteboard. Yes.
Oh, my God. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
We're going to land on that one. DNA. Nobody else wants to throw another you question out there.
That's the question.
Just cleanse the palate.
That's the question. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming to hang out with us. For my Twitch friends, I believe today I'm going to raid into a channel that we haven't raided into before. It's actually Bob Ross. If you don't know, they replay his material on Twitch. And I would like to have this on in the background while I work today. Just a little voice in my ear telling me wonderful things about painting.
We're going to paint a happy tree.
We're going to paint So he has been painting, obviously, his ghost has been painting all day long. And this will continue on loop. I really enjoy this channel. I haven't ever actually followed them until today, but I always see them in my recommended channels. And Bob Ross Art is one of the ones we're going to go. And that's who we're going to raid today. For our live viewers and for our podcasters, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thank you for supporting us. Our conversation today went to a lot of really fun places and deep places all at once, and that's just kind of our show.
That's what we want it to be. We want it to be human.
We don't regulate the temperature of our show like Lolly wants to regulate the temperature of water.
No, not at all. Thank you, guys. Love you all, and we will catch you on the next Monday or someday. Bye.